Ready?
Mhm.
Welcome to the Baron's Hideout podcast. I'm your host, Dustin,
And I'm your co-host, Aaron.
and today we are doing our third episode in our mini-series called Camp Camp, and we are doing Demons, or
Yes.
Demone, I believe is what they would say, because this is an Italian film, and this is Aaron's first watch. This is my second watch, and this is a very fun movie.
Oh yeah.
Like, we love Dario Argento, and he pretty much helped produce and present this to help
Yeah, he actually wrote the screenplay
what's
for it too.
the director's name? Lamberio Bava? I forget.
Right here.
Aaron's gonna look that up for us real quick. I forget because there's so many Italian directors.
Yeah, Lamberto Bava.
Lamberto Bava. Okay. Yeah, he's done a lot of other films too, and he came after this. He kind of rose to a little bit of fame, and I do want to do a whole segment on just like Italian horror films because like I said, Aaron and I love Dario Argento, and like our first movie that we saw of him was Suspiria. I've seen a little bit more than Aaron has, but if I were to suggest to you another one you need to watch would be Deep Red, and that's also on Shudder, and that's a really good like mystery one. That's really really good. But yeah, it was a time when Italian horror was super popular, and they were trying to appeal to us. So that's why whenever you see an Italian movie, it feels very American, even though it's very overdubbed, and the sites aren't really, obviously they're not in America, they're doing it in their own country, but they're trying to appease to the American audience. And I think they always do a good job, and it's sometimes the plots are a little like, what's going on? What is this? Especially Dario Argento films, but
Yeah,
they're
all over the place.
they're very very fun. So that's like a little rundown on like our view of Italian horror films.
Very colorful movies too.
Very colorful. Very, especially this one, and a lot of Dario Argento films. But before we get into the nitty gritty and jump into this film, we're gonna do our usual socials. So you guys can find us pretty much everywhere. I'm getting back into the swing of being on socials a lot more. I know we say all the time, we took a very big break, and we're kind of coming back now. Things are still a little in the water and kind of like up and down for like when we can like actually make it on our actual days, because work and just life is just
Life.
absolutely crazy. Aaron's been having a lot of trouble lately with just everything, and it sucks, and I hope things get better for you. I really do. So it's all hope for Aaron, and pray for him and say things will be better. Things will be back on track. But fear not, we will be here every week. It just may not be the Saturdays. It will probably be like a different day, like today. Today's what, Thursday?
Yeah.
So it might be just like one of those days. We might be coming back Saturday.
Yeah.
You want to do another one Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you have enough time to do it. I think our next one, I think I said, was Prom Night. I'm pretty sure. The original, not the remake. The original.
Prom night. I remember prom night.
Yeah, me too. But as always, usually all the movies that we watch and review on our podcast are all on Shudder. So if you guys don't have Shudder and you want to partake in the viewing and being a little bit more versed and know what we're talking about in all these films, go get Shudder. It's like $6 a month, and there's a lot of stuff on there. They just added Pumpkinhead, which is my favorite creature feature, and I'm definitely going to be watching that. You got to watch that. That'll be a movie we will be covering on Camp Camp, because it's a very campy movie. So that would be month 2. So once we're done with this whole line of stuff that we have now, I think we have another like 3 or 4 movies,
A
I
whole nother
think.
month of movies.
Yeah, so we have that, and then we're going to be starting a whole nother like 5 to 6 films. A lot of our guests that we had planned that were going to be coming on are now kind of going through their own struggles. So guests are kind of like on hold right now. But if you are listening and you guys are into horror or anything like that, if you have a project or something and you want to come on and review a movie with us or talk about what you do, we would love to have you. We do everything through Zoom. It doesn't have to be in person. But if you do live close by, and I feel like I have enough space in here, and we feel comfortable enough with inviting you over, then we can do it in person. But right now, Zoom is the safest, and also to ensure that you're vaccinated. So make sure you get your fucking shots, people. Not to be, that type of person right now, but seriously,
Get your shots.
get your fucking shots, you idiots. And if that turns you off from our podcast, I'm sorry. I don't care. Get your shot. But back to our socials. You can find us on Twitter, which is just the BHO_podcast. And that's the same for TikTok. And crap, is there another one I have that handle for?
Instagram.
I think the Instagram is just the Baron's Hideout _podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless I change it to the one I just said, the BHO_podcast. Then we also have our shop, which you can go and look at some shirts and stuff, which I haven't updated on there. And I do want to move to a different shop, but it's just Teespring. So if you just search the Baron's Hideout _podcast, or right there. But Aaron, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is AROWBHO. That's AROWEBHO. I don't post on there as much as I'd like, unfortunately. I feel like I say this every week, but
That's okay.
yeah, I'm not too super active on there, but once in a while I do post updates about the show and different trying to gain sponsorships.
Yes. We got our Liquid Death over here that we drink on a daily basis, and I buy 2 cases a week. I have an auto supply, so every time, I think it's Thursdays, is when it takes money out, and it's like, here's another 2 cases, which is good, because sometimes I forget to order them. I'm like, crap, I only have 1 can
It's at
left.
your door.
Yeah. But if you guys like water,
Murder you
get
thick.
them Liquid Death.
Oh yeah.
And we have the awesome koozie too, which is Thrash to Death. Turn it just a little bit.
Oh.
It's okay. Sorry, yeah, there you go. It's really cool. I have that shirt too. It's over there. It's got to be cleaned. But we have our Liquid Deaths, and we have our pumpkin coffee, because
We're basic bitches.
we are super basic bitches, and it's spooky time. As soon as pumpkin is out anywhere, it's spooky time. So go get your pumpkin stuff, guys. Unless you don't like pumpkin, then what's wrong with you?
Right. Get out of here. Just kidding.
Is there anything I'm missing?
Um.
Once again, I think
Socials and-
I always forget something. So we did Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, our store, talked about Liquid Death. Why do I feel like there's something I'm forgetting?
I think we hit everything.
I think that's everything. If there's something I forgot, let me know, so that way I can hold myself
I'll have to
accountable.
write down a script.
Yeah, I keep wanting to write down like everything I need to say in the beginning, but I'm lazy and I fucking forget. But I think if that's it, and we don't have anything else we're going to talk about,
We'll jump on in.
we can
Slay
jump
some
right into
demons.
it. And we're going to cover demons.
Alrighty.
All right, Aaron, you can
I'll start
Hit the
us
bell.
off today. Bing, bing. Alright. So we start off, and we're on the subway. And you get a, it's typical, like, I think it was at New York or something like that.
I
or-
think this is supposed to be based in New York, because
yeah.
either New York, or if I had to say maybe
Some
Boston, but I
yeah.
feel like it's probably
Probably
more
New
New
York,
York, because
yeah.
that's more,
But so
Important.
yeah, you got your normal New York travel mix of everybody. You got your college kids, you got the goths and punks, your average Joes. But we're just going down the train, and then we come across a girl who is a music student named Cheryl.
See, did we? I'm trying to think if they even went through that background. I think they touched it a little bit when she meets
Yeah.
her friend, but there's a lot of people in this film.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of names.
A lot of names, and
So we probably won't mention all of them because there's so many of them. So I do apologize.
But so she's on the train, and she meets a man who's very off. He's a bit of a character.
Mhm.
And he's wearing a metal mask. It kind of reminds me of a Ghost, like the mask that the
Yeah. I wonder if that's inspired by this.
Oh,
I
maybe.
should look that up. That's interesting. But yeah, I call him Chrome Face.
Throne face. So we meet Croomface, and he gives her like a free movie ticket or like a pass to a movie theater that she's never heard of, but she
Yeah.
takes it and moves on with her life.
She's super sketched out too, but
Yeah.
then she realizes like, oh, he's doing this to everybody. Okay.
Yeah. So you see him going down the train, passing him out. So she's like, okay, it's just probably advertising, but then we cut over to Cheryl talking to her friend Kathy. And she's trying to convince her to skip class and go to this strange movie with her.
Yep.
That she got free tickets for.
She's like, this better not be a horror movie. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, her friend doesn't like horror movies, so she's like, she's hesitant at first, but she convinces her to go. They skip class, and, so they end up going to the theater, and they're struggling to get a Coca-Cola from the machine. There's like a crowd of people around just chilling in the lobby.
They literally cut to like the whole like plot of this movie super quick. Like there's no like breathing time. It's like you meet these people, here's this
happens,
then you're straight at the place you're going to be in for the rest of the movie, which I kind of like that they kind of like rushed it and like made it in there. It doesn't feel super sloppy. Yeah, it's not sloppy or anything. It's pretty good. And Italians are usually really good with going straight to the point with something, and right now they really like bonked it on the head.
But yeah, so they're having trouble with the Coca-Cola machine. They're trying to get their money back, and then in walks George and Ken.
Such like
such frat boy names.
Ken,
like
these Italians trying to appease us and
George and
be
Ken.
like us. I don't think I've ever met anybody with the name Ken. George, definitely.
Kenny's before.
But not like straight up Ken. Unless you're playing Street Fighter.
Yeah, right. So, but anyways, George and Ken walk in, and they're automatically, they see these girls, and they're like, oh, you guys need some help? And so he like punches the machine, and her coat comes out. They're all hitting on them, being sweet, and they're just like, yeah, okay, thanks, see you later.
One game that I should have done is like count how many times Coca-Cola is like shown in this movie, because it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. I have to rewatch it and count. There's a lot of Coca-Cola and Coke.
Coke. Yeah. Yes.
But so everybody goes into the theater to go watch the film. And there's a bunch of different people, like I said, characters. We got a nice smooth black man named Tony.
The thing is, I think I heard his name once, and then I totally forgot who it was.
That's why I do my research online while taking the notes, so I'll read along with it while I watch the movie.
I'm at the point right now, Aaron, that was like, I know Aaron's coming. He's going to know everybody, the cast, so I'm just like, I'm going to focus on just on the notes, and then Aaron would be like, well, this is the dude that did this. And then we go into IMDb later, so this makes it so much easier instead of having to, like,
yeah, that's why I like to read along with it while I watch the movie. That way it embeds in my head,
Yeah.
But
actually, before we get to that, there's like one part I do want to highlight before we go past it is Liz and the blind man. I don't know. Does he have a name? The blind dude.
The blind dude.
Is he listed there?
Yeah, it's a weird name. Where is it? Werner. Yeah.
All right, so he's with I think his daughter Liz. So there's more people in there, and he's blind and whatnot.
I don't. You notice that he kind of there's a blind man also in Suspiria.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I was thinking that too.
And see.
Yeah. So we're getting introduced to all these other people. So there's one group, and then they find the mask. I think it's the main group of Cheryl. They find the mask, and it's being kind of weird.
Tony and his girlfriend.
And then Tony and his two girlfriends or friends, or whatever. Like one of them takes the mask and puts it on, and then she takes it off and she cuts herself. So that's what I just wanted to highlight, and then we go into the movie theater. Like nothing really happens until they start going on to what they're doing next, and I'll let you do that.
Yeah. So, do you want me to go through the rest of the characters?
Yeah, go right ahead. You can go right ahead because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Might as well lay them out now.
Yeah. So we got Tony and his two girlfriends. You got Rosemary and Carmen. Mm-hmm. Rosemary being the one who put the mask on and cut her cheek. And then we also have Frank and his wife Ruth.
Oh my God.
Fucking Frank and Ruth.
Frank is. I remember him because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. They're just like a grumpy old couple, or middle-aged, whatever.
Yeah, I would say they're probably like middle aged.
Yeah. And then you got a young couple named Tommy and Hannah.
We see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Especially Hannah, like later on.
And then, of course, Werner and his daughter Liz.
Mm-hmm.
The blind dude. Oh, there's Hannah and Tommy right there. So, we arrive at the
Oh no.
technical difficulties.
Aaron's laptop decided to shut off on him. I can I'll let you know until you get. Oh nope. You back?
I think so.
You gotta love computers.
Right.
You shut off the timers and stuff, and they still decide to shut off on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
So, finally we arrive at the theater. And then the movie starts, they're watching, you got these guys cruising around on their dirt bikes and some old ruins, and
It's so weird, but
Yeah.
it's so good that like I want to watch this movie.
and Kathy, she's not too happy to find out that it's a horror movie.
Nope.
And then
She's like, I knew it.
she's like, I shouldn't have trusted you. So then here come George and Ken again, off to offer their services.
Oh, these
Protecting.
boys.
And everyone's watching the movie. Again, it's college students riding their dirt bikes. And supposedly it's the birthplace of Nostradamus.
Mm-hmm. And one really cool thing is like this movie has a lot of like 80s metal in it, and as soon as the movie starts, we get some Motley Crue. So that's
That's what
really
gets
good.
started to a movie.
Gotta love the Crue.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
Maybe not so much Vince now, but
Yeah.
yeesh.
He gained weight, but I think he's sober now, so I guess.
Yeah, but he's how he sounds now.
Oh, I know.
Retire.
Did you hear the new Guns N' Roses?
I did, and it's awful.
Yeah.
So bad.
No.
Oh my god. I had to stop it like
Me
1 minute
too.
in. I was like, I can't.
Nope.
Sorry for anybody who is fans of the new Guns N' Roses
It
song.
was terrible.
It's called Absurd, and even how it's spelt is bad. Oh, okay.
All right, enough of that.
Yeah, I need to wash my mind.
So, anyways, you got these college students with their flashlights. They're searching through this tomb, and they end up finding like a coffin or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of like different like gravestones and
Yeah.
stuff.
But they end up prying one open and to look for the bones of Nostradamus, to find just a book and a metal mask wrapped in cloth. So one of these dumbasses decides to put this demon mask on, and he gets a cut on his cheek.
And
And then right as that happens in the movie, Rosemary from the beginning, the girl with the mask on, her cheek starts to bleed again, so she excuses herself. She goes to the bathroom. It starts to hurt more. She's trying to clean herself up, and it starts like throbbing and growing.
the effects in this movie.
I know,
80s, can you please come back?
right?
Can you please come back? I mean, there's a lot of like newer directors and stuff that are doing a lot more practical effects, and I praise them. I'm not saying I don't want to say I don't like CGI, okay? I do like CGI when it's used when it needs in like the proper placement and not as a replace of something. You know, obviously everything is a tool. Sorry, I'm going on a little tangent right now. But everything is used as a tool, like special effects, it's a tool. CGI, it's a tool. Lighting, it's a tool.
Line on it.
Yeah, it's just now it's like music too. Like everything is just so copy paste and perfect. Things don't need to be perfect, people. They don't. I mean, there's so many 80s movies out there that are dog shit, but they look great because they're using
Practical
effects and their vision is actually, you know, there, and it's not just
It's realistic and
it's not too like
in the sense that like, you know, it's something they set an achievable goal for themselves.
Exactly.
They had to like do that come up with that themselves. You know, they had to think, oh, I'm going to use this to make this. And,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. And everything is just now. It's like, let's just throw it in the computer, and then we can fix it later.
yeah.
But, enough of that. Like, if you're an aspiring filmmaker, I can understand if you don't have a budget to go and
Build all
do the
kinds of
stuff that you
stuff.
want, but also it's kind of pricey to go either way. But if you're tech savvy and you know how to do something on a computer and you have a vision to do it, and you don't really have somebody there to help you create a physical thing, okay, I can understand that, especially if you're just starting out. That's great. But explore every avenue and not just the thing that's popular that everybody else is doing. You need to be above.
The easy way out.
You know, always think outside the box and always be one step above, and that's how you're gonna get your stuff to be seen and heard, because you're different, and that's always a good thing. Being different is a good thing. That's the end of my tangent. I'll let Aaron continue on this transformation.
All right. So this cut on her cheek ends up throbbing up and growing up until like almost like a big tumor almost, and then just like pops like a big ass pimple.
Just imagine that.
Yeah, it's like all pussy and everything. So and then we cut back to Tom, not Tom. Yeah, what's the name? Tony.
Tony, yep.
Yeah. With his other
Tony.
girlfriend Carmen, and she decides to follow Rosemary,
And she's like, I'm gonna go check on her because she's been gone a while. And he's like, yeah.
So she goes into the bathroom and discovers that at the same time as the movie, Rosemary's turned into a demon, along with the guy from the movie.
Yep.
So,
And a lot of green goo.
oh yeah, lots of green goo.
I love the way the faces look in this movie. They did such a great job. I can take it away for a little bit if you want, Aaron.
Okay.
So as her friend, what's her name?
Rosemary and Carmen.
Carmen. That's it. I wanted to say Karma for some reason. That's not her name. Carmen. So she's there and she finds Rosemary, and Rosemary attacks her and scratches her, and her friend's like running away. And at the same time in the movie, the girl who was in there is also running away from these demons. And as she's running away, she makes her way over to the actual like screen, and Rosemary's kind of out doing her own thing. And then we cut to, I think Liz has broken away from her father and is now with another dude who I don't even know where he
Like
came
a boyfriend or something.
It's like she snuck away, but this guy, we didn't see him at all, I don't think, except for that one time we saw someone walk over to like where they're sitting and he sits, but you don't see his face or like get any kind of like backstory. So they're away behind like some other curtain, kind of like making out and whatnot and kind of going crazy. And then Liz hears like her father like pretty much saying, Liz, where are you? Hello, and you need to come back and whatnot. Because he knows, I guess, that she's gone, even though he is blind, but I guess he heard her like go away or something. But as that's going on, Rosemary's now going towards them, and Carmen is like freaking the hell out, and she's like banging on the screen. And as that's happening, I think somebody's getting stabbed in the movie with a knife. Is it the girl that's getting stabbed?
Yeah,
I think it's the girl.
Yeah.
So she's getting stabbed and killed.
She's at the same time as Carmen.
Yeah, and then we get another group like this. Oh my god, there's so many people to keep track of. My mind's like racing. But we have Kathy and her group, and her friends like hearing like, hey, I hear screams and it sounds very real. And I think it's Ken was just like, no, this is part of the movie, whatever. And she's like, no, I really,
system.
yeah, I hear somebody screaming. And as like the movie's getting more intense, so doesn't Carmen, who's like pretty much banging at the screen and eventually rips it. And then that happens and the person dies in the film, and then Rosemary also kills the other two people, which is Liz and unnamed dude. And then everybody starts freaking the hell out. And Liz's father left and went to go find her.
I think the guy that she's making out with was Frank.
Was it Frank?
I think so. That wouldn't make sense because he's kind of a piece of shit.
Maybe that's what
That's
that
what
is.
it says on here, but
Oh, I guess so. Maybe.
could be wrong.
As Liz's father's going out to find her, he stumbles upon, I believe, Rosemary, and he gets his face like completely shredded. Am I on the right track? I think I am, right? So yeah, he gets a pretty brutal face ripping, and then like everybody's getting
All hell breaks loose.
like they're like, we need to get the hell out of here right
That's
now.
probably my favorite scene.
And they're like, they finally get their way to the door, and they all get there and they start ripping off the doors, and they're like, it's cemented. How do we get out? First of all, I need to know.
How did somebody patch that up with cement and have it dry so fast?
Exactly. How much time has passed? Like, are they? They've only been there for, I would have to say, less than an hour. So how did somebody go and do all of that on every exit? Unless like this.
They like pre-molded them or something. But
Yeah, I know we have that girl in like the green dress who was like.
Yeah, she was shady.
But the thing is, she didn't even like when we go later on. She's like, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like she was hosting this, but had no idea what was going on. So it had to been.
Yeah.
Chrome dude or something that like planned all of this. And then they're like, okay, well, we need to go to the exit door, so everybody leaves. And what happens in every horror movie when there's a group of people, there's always one idiot who's like, I'm going to go off on my own and I'm going to go see what I can do. So this one lady leaves the group and goes into like, it must be like some sort of like maintenance room or something. She goes in there, she looks in the mirror, she's like, ooh, okay. And then we get a really cool scalping.
Oh yeah.
Which is when Rosemary literally scalps this girl, and she not doing anything. Too. It's crazy. And then we get the I think it's George and Ken again, who see this happen, and Rosemary's trying to leave the room, and they're like holding the door together and like, yo, dude, we need help. And then Tony and some other dude come in to grab the Pepsi machine, not the Pepsi machine, the Coke machine, and put it up against the wall. So it's like almost like every like 10 minutes there's like some sort of Coke in it, and it's really, really funny. And then they kind of talk within the group, because it's, I think Cheryl and her friend are here now, and so it's Tony, some other dude, Cheryl, her friend, George and Ken, and maybe some other people, and they're like, I think it's the movie. And they're like, yeah, it's definitely the movie that's causing this. Like, I understand there's a lot of stuff going on, but Aaron, if you were in this situation, would you just be like, it's the movie, the movie's causing this? Would you think that?
No.
Or would you like try to think more logical?
Up to this. Like, there's got to be a person that planned all this.
Yeah, like I want.
Some kind of cult or something.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's like any extreme moment
like,
where you would just be like,
love like all the paranormal shit. I don't.
Yeah.
Think, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't jump. That wouldn't be my first guess. You know, my first thought would be like, you know, somebody locked us all in here and is trying to, you know, kill us.
I mean, like, I can understand that like what's happening on the screen is happening in real life, but that's also, it could just be
just a coincidence or like part of the plan. You know.
Yeah, it could be like actors, or it could be someone who's just like really like full of it and they're like really taking it in, and like they're starting to like live that in real life, and it causes like a domino effect if everybody else is falling in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I would have ever just been like, yeah, it's that movie or that show or it's this song that's causing this to make everybody go crazy and have these demons kill us.
Yeah.
It has to be something. So as they are going to go to the projection booth, we have Hannah, who broke off from the group, apparently, who is in the theater just crawling. No, just living her best life. She says, I'm crawling. I'm not going to be with my boyfriend, Tommy, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be here, because I think he's even looking for her. He's like, has anybody seen Hannah? It's like, no, she's in there like eating popcorn off the floor. So they finally get to the projection booth, and the door's locked, and they're like, oh, we need to go find something to break this door down. And then badass Tony over here is like, dude, we don't need anything, and just fucking kicks it, and it just falls down.
Reminds me of Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Chocolate Chip Charlie, yeah. Go watch The Stuff. That was the last episode. That was last week, which was really fun. Great movie.
It was.
Very good movie. If you haven't seen it, make sure you watch it before you watch a review, like all of our other stuff, unless you are one of those people who like to listen to reviews before you watch something, which I can understand, you know, both sides. But they get to the projection booth, and there's another door, and they kick that down, and they walk in, and they're like, there's nobody here. and it's just a big computer. So it's like an auto projector who I guess just feeds itself. I mean, it had to have been somebody there
You
to
could
put the
thing
film in,
yeah.
and then just kind of leave it alone. Which I don't even know if that's what projection booths really look like. I've been in one projection booth, but it had like an old, like, you know, you had to like be there yourself and like put it in and roll it and make sure it's still going fine. So I wonder how they look now. I imagine it's
probably all automated, probably just DVDs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think anything's really on reel anymore. No. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. But they go in there and they're like, well, nobody's here, so let's just fucking smash everything, dude. And they smash it and the movie stops. But that doesn't stop anything, because what's happening is already happening. Because I think in the movie was even like, well, demon, it's like a virus, it infects. So like, it's like a zombie. These aren't zombies, people. They're demons. So like, they have the same effect. Like, if a zombie bites you, you're gonna turn into a zombie. These are, if a demon scratches, bites, anything like that, you will eventually be infected, which is a pretty cool take on it. And they may cut to like the city for random reasons and go into a car with just a bunch of punks.
Oh yeah.
And Aaron, I will let you take it away from here, because these guys are definitely something else.
Alrighty. Yeah, so now we meet a group of punks, and they're doing coke out of a Coke can.
Like, I honestly, first time watching this, I thought they were literally snorting just straight up Coke.
But it's Coke. So, anyways, yeah, we meet these punks. We got Ripper, Hot Dog, Baby Pig, and Nina.
Okay, they had those names. The only one that I heard in the movie was Nina. All the other ones, nope. Hot Dog?
I heard Hot Dog one.
You did? Yeah. Oh my god. These names are killing me.
Right. So, they're cruising around and they're doing a bunch of coke out of a Coke can.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide they want to, try and break into a movie theater. Because they're punks.
Yes. And getting chased by cops and shit.
Yeah, they're getting chased by cops. And then they end up getting, like, the police will pull up to them, and then they get out there, make a run for it. And then he pushes the cop. He's like, "Oh, pigs suck." I loved.
Oh my god, these guys are really funny.
Yeah, but yes, and then they end up running, and they get cornered in like this little alleyway. All the doors are locked, and then they're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go?" And oh wait, I think I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Well, all that really happens is like the people inside, like, I think they.
They're banging on the wall.
Yeah,
right?
they're banging on the walls. Yeah, because they're like, we need to get help, but that's pretty much all that happens. Yeah. And the punks are like the more important thing, because this is what kind of propels the story a little bit further.
Yeah, but they end up. So they're outside the theater, but then we end up cutting back, and then Tommy, they're trying to escape.
Yeah.
They get through a ventilation, like a vent, like the freaking, like, the secret agents climb in.
It's like, oh, it's small enough, we can crawl through it. Okay.
But anyways, Hannah must have gotten bit or scratched or something, and
she did right before I think we met the punks, or after that. It was very quick though.
Yeah. Now she is a demon too, and she ends up killing Tommy.
Yeah, everybody eventually turns. Unfortunately, sorry.
Yeah. So, and then everybody starts panicking. They hear, like, the punks outside or whatever. Mm-hmm. They hear them come in, and they think they're there to get rescued. So they're like, you know what? Let's just tear down all these barricades that we just took all that time to build.
Like, I would wait to see who it is, and then be like,
not just jump to conclusions, because then you're just gonna let all the demons in.
Idiots.
Man, but so anyways, And then the demons just end up going on like on a spree. Like,
Yep.
they unbarricade everything, and then the demons come and they just go on a murdering spree.
Yep. Everybody who
everyone's
wasn't.
being chased around, and it's kind of brutal to watch.
It's really it's good though. Like all the special effects are very good, even though a lot of the stuff is very fast paced, and you only see it for like a second, but they do a very good job of everything.
Yeah. My favorite's when they like punch through the fucking chair and they grab the girl.
Yeah.
And this is the music that plays too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
This is cool too because like you can tell like the demons are like ascending to you because they start getting like glowy eyes and shit. So it's like they're on like stage 2 or whatever this is if it's like a boss fight or something.
Amped up and shit.
It's great.
They're like, wait a minute, kill me some fucking humans.
Mm-hmm.
And then so everyone is basically dead except for Kathy, Cheryl, and George and Ken.
Yeah, and I was actually really surprised because the girl in the green dress, she gets attacked, and I thought since she was the one that was kind of like holding this or hosting it,
yeah,
she would have been like speared or something, you know, like I thought she wasn't gonna die, but nope, I was wrong, and she gets it pretty bad. I think she gets like ripped. Like her arm ripped or something.
Something like that. It's all pretty brutal. I mean, death by demon, no matter what. How you look at it.
Like those teeth and the claws are very... And that was also a really cool thing, too, is because with Carmen, we actually saw, like, a really good, like, transformation. And, like, her nails coming out. Like, it was really good.
Fingertips bleeding,
It was very good.
I like that.
So if you guys like good transformations, like, regardless, it doesn't have to be, like, werewolves or anything, this has a really good transformation scene. And it's a good, like, very 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
But, yeah. So then George and Ken, they decide to use the same vents. But before they can get in there, Kathy, she ends up transforming into a demon because she had apparently at some point swallowed some demon blood when they were trying to escape from the balcony.
Yeah.
Stupid Kathy. You just had to swallow the demon blood. But so and then Ken beats her to death with a fucking cover for an air conditioning.
Yeah, the vent cover is definitely overkill, and it's really funny.
He just like bashes her head.
Because like even like when you're watching it and you're seeing it happen, you can tell like
just the noises and like the
and like how like the motion was going. Like they were filming it, and as soon as he went down, they would stop and then do it again because there's like no force behind it. It's just like bonk.
Yeah, it's almost like stop motion, right? You have to like kind of get closer each time. Yeah.
It's very funny.
But yeah, he doesn't hesitate though.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either. Yeah.
Like at this point,
she's a fucking demon. But yeah, so he beats her to death. And then they're looking at her body, and her back starts to like bulge up, and they're like, "What the fuck's happening to her?"
This is a pretty famous scene from this movie.
Yeah.
Same with like what Rosemary's transformation and Carmen's transformation. This is a very good scene.
But then you see like this big bubble in her back just come out, and then it just opens up, and then you see this little baby demon comes over.
So it's like real demons are being spawned out of people, which is pretty cool. I think she's the only person that we see that happen to.
Yeah.
Because that's like
it's
the only.
Insinuated. It's got to be around everywhere.
Yeah, it has to like.
They breed or something.
It's like you get a spawn through human flesh.
But yeah, it's pretty grody, and it goes and it attacks fucking is it Georgia Ken? I can't remember which one.
Ken gets scratched.
That's right. Yeah, he gets scratched on his chest.
Get away from me, guys!
Yep. No.
Get away.
So and then ends up so it goes into this whole scene where Ken's like, and the demon runs away, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like scratch and like bye.
And just see ya. And then Ken's like, I'm gonna become one of them, stay away, and he's super dramatic. You gotta kill me now. He hands him a sword, and he's like, no. And it's just this whole, typical, like, no, I can't kill you.
Back and forth banter of like, oh, I can't kill you, my best friend, but you gotta kill me. No, I can't. Yes, you can.
You can do it.
And then eventually get turned, and then George is pretty much forced to kill him. And this is when George kind of becomes a badass. I could take it away from here if you want, Aaron. This is when it turns into like an actual action movie. Aaron and I were watching this before we started this, and it's really funny. So he gets the dirt bike, and Cheryl gets on the back with George, and they just start hacking zombies. Well, sorry, demons. How would you... D-zombies. D-zombies. We'll do that. We'll put it together. So they're in like the main theater, and he's like going across, like the seat's perfectly fine on the dirt bike, just like going straight and just whacking them and
just
chopping them off.
Gas too.
Yeah, it's just like, what? First of all, why is there a dirt bike?
And why is there a samurai
A
drive?
samurai sword, and that was also where the mask was as well. So it's like, why was all that there? Was that set there for a reason?
Like I said earlier, I'm just waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out. Like, you just got punked.
Yeah. And like you made a good point earlier, like the dirt bike makes sense because of the movie. If everything was connected to the movie, the people in the movie were using dirt bikes. And the mask was also in the movie. But there was no samurai sword, that I remember. There was a knife, but there was no samurai sword. So he starts chopping them up, and eventually Cheryl falls off. And then he crashes, and he has to pretty much fend them off on foot. And then once they finally feel like, okay, we took them all out, what fucking happens? A helicopter just falls through the roof.
Random ass helicopter.
And they're like, what is that noise? And even you as a viewer, you know, it's like, what the fuck could that be? Is that like a bunch of them gonna like come down?
Or...
I think it would have been really cool if it was like an actual like huge ass demon. It's like, okay, so this is actually a video game. It's the final boss.
It's the boss battle.
That'd be really funny, but they would just be like, I'm fucked.
He's always got a fucking katana.
But yeah, like just a helicopter with dead people on it. And I guess it's right now kind of insinuating like right now it's not just happening in the theater. This is happening everywhere, and we will see that after. And George decides to go into the helicopter to find this harpoon gun. And once he finds that, Cheryl's like, they're coming. He's like, you got to do something. And he turns on the fucking the what are they?
A rebar.
The routers or the routers, the fucking spinny blades.
The propellers.
The propellers, whatever the fuck it's called. And he puts it on, and then he kills like a couple of more, and then he's like, okay, well, we got to go. And Cheryl, I think, gets attacked by one of the demons, and she kind of kicks him off, and then he shoots the harpoon perfectly
on the first go
on the roof, because there's a giant hole. Like, we got to get through there to get out of here and eventually make it to safety, because they don't really know what's happening outside, but they will. So they get up there, and he's like, okay, and then it's such an action scene too, with him like holding her, and they're like zipping up with the zip line and everything. It's just like, okay, it's like I'm watching like a Rambo or some shit.
Or fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
They do that.
So they make it to the roof, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we're saved. We're good. No. Chrome Face is still alive. Does he even have a name? Is he named?
Metal Masked Man.
Metal Masked Man? Okay, so Chrome Face is a lot better than that. So he comes off, and for some reason decides to like push George and not Cheryl also off of the roof.
Yeah, right. He just really appears, and he's like, okay.
What I was thinking was maybe he was trying to get rid of him because he was infected.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's like what I'm thinking, but then we realize what happens after the fact. That logic gets thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Because what we see at the end of the movie. But I don't know. Maybe he wanted to be with Cheryl, maybe, or some sort of... There has to be some sort of underlining reason why he went after him, I think. So he knocks him off. George manages to get up because Cheryl puts the harpoon or whatever the hell it is into Chrome Face's back and allows him to get up, and then they both attack him with a bar, which I don't know why you needed to use that when you could have just forced his head down, because there's like some
rebar.
Yeah, rebar that's right there, and they're
sticking up.
It's like a good like minute of them forcing his head down, and you finally get the satisfying conclusion of it going through his face, which is also a really good special effect. You see everything happen.
Oh yeah.
And then they manage to defeat him, and then look across in the window, and there's more demons, and then they look around, and it's everywhere. It's literally hell. So they manage to get down and kind of go by some other demons, and then finally come to these people who are in, I think it's a white Jeep. And they're like, hey, get in. And it's like it looks like a father and like his daughter and son, I would assume.
Yeah, I think so.
And then they jump on, and they're like, oh, I don't know who these people are. These people don't know who they are, but they're inviting them to come start pretty much a new life. Because like, oh, we're going to get away from all this and start over. And so they are, killing some demons and stuff. And then we get to the rolling of the credits. And then we see, as we zoom in, Cheryl is a demon.
Ooh.
And then gets shot by the little boy about like
Almost
3-4 times.
immediately.
Yeah, even George is like, no!
And he's
No.
like, okay, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's just them driving off, and then we get a final shot of Cheryl laying on the road, dead. And then that is the end of Demons. There is Demons 2, which I do need to watch because I haven't seen that one. If I had to guess, it's probably focusing on the world, or I don't know if they would still follow George.
I don't know. That's what I was just reading about. But
it'd be cool if they kind of kept it off. I don't know how many years it is in between this one and the first one, because this one's 1985.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it says a documentary is shown on TV of a group of teens who investigate the legendary Forbidden Zone in which a demon must have place. Which
so it's just like
was.
It's just people going to investigate that area, so they just go back. No, that sounds boring. I'm sorry, I hate when sequels do that shit. When it's like you could carry on the story, but no, we're gonna go back to where it happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm not going to criticize it or anything right now because I obviously haven't seen it. But I'm just saying, if you guys are going to make a sequel to a movie, can you please just continue the story and not backtrack? That's all I ask.
Hannah's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this movie. Aaron, if you want to run through some of the main people in here, because there's a lot of people, but we'll just focus on like Cheryl and George and them, the people who actually made it out.
So we got
oh gosh,
Urbano Barberini, who plays George.
That's a name.
He's known for being in Casino Royale.
Oh, really?
Gore 2. Whatever that is. They're both in the 80s.
Yeah, it must be more Italian films.
Yeah.
He was in Casino Royale? Really?
Yeah. Let's see who he played.
I'm going to have to rewatch that. That's the Bond movie, in case if you guys are wondering. I know it's
2006.
He's probably like a very, very low, like not like probably in there for like 1 second. But that's cool.
Yeah. And then we got Natasha Hovey, who plays Cheryl. And she is known for Demons.
A lot of Italian films.
Movies that
I wouldn't be surprised if she did a lot of TV shows too, because like
star on TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say every time like I look at the people who are in these movies, regardless of like what region these films are from, they always grab people from TV, which is kind of cool.
It's kind of like the draft though with like football and shit. You know, they go to college games and they scout out people. You know,
that's a good way to put it. Kind of like
Italian movies.
Get a taste of what they're capable of, I guess, on TV.
Exactly. Final Executioner, whatever that was. It looks Italian. Looks like it might be another Dario Argento movie, but I could be wrong. Just going by like the cover. No, maybe not. But it's still Italian.
Yes.
And then we got Carl Zinni, who plays Ken. Oh yeah, I was just on him. My bad.
It's all good.
Then we got Fiore Argento.
Oh.
Maybe it's like a niece or something.
I know he does like to incorporate.
Yeah.
Oh wow, she was actually in
Phenomena.
Phenomena I have seen.
The Card Player. The Stendhal Syndrome.
Does it say? Oh no, it doesn't say if she's like part of his family or not. I was seeing if maybe it said that she was like Dario Argento's like niece or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that's really important to say?
I want to find out who played Tony.
Of course you do.
Bobby Rhodes. 'Cause I loved him.
He does look kind of familiar, so I'm
Demons, Leviathan, Treasure Island, and Outer Space, I think. He played someone in Black Dog. Flight from Paradise. No.
He looks familiar, but those don't sound familiar to me.
American though, because
yeah. I think that's.
Yeah, I mean, no one I really
pretty much
recognize.
about it.
Yeah.
So to our rating. It's a very fun film. I love Italian films, especially Italian horror. I'd probably say maybe 8.5. I'll probably give this one. I usually give like Italian films a pretty high score. I rarely give anything above 9. I've been realizing it's either like 8 or 8.5. Aaron has my Freddy glove, the really bad one. I need to get the actual one with real metal. It's like $200, but I want it really badly.
Say 8.5.
I give it an 8.5.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too.
It's very fun. Very fast. It's very fluid and doesn't really hold on anything.
Yeah, that's what I like. It's kind of straight to the point. It's very fun. I like I love the soundtrack very much.
Me too.
It was fitting, like
trying to please us with all the heavy metal bands.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 as well.
8.5, nice. I don't think there's really much else to say about this film other than go watch it. And if you haven't really seen a lot of like Italian horror films in like the 80s or anything, this is definitely one you should watch, and Suspiria is one also. And then just start watching all of Dario Argento's films and then move on to like Mario Bava and all the other really, really good people, Yeah. And yeah, it's super fun. Hey Lawrence, how's it going, man? As everybody knows, that's what I forgot to say. We're live on Twitch. That's part of our socials. I knew there was something I was forgetting, and it was right in front of my face. So, as you guys know, when we do our episodes, there was a point in time where we were pre-recording them, but now we're back to doing them live. And we usually like to do them on Saturdays, but oh God, Aaron, please. Oh my God, you're scaring me. don't pour that all over the mixer. We stream on Twitch, which is just the Baron's Hideout _podcast. So if you guys want to come and partake in all of these fun ass reviews and see it live before we upload it to everywhere else, this is the place to do it. We usually do it on Saturdays, but we're doing it kind of like whenever we can now, just because of schedules and work and everything.
But we plan on Saturday.
Yeah, we will be back Saturday. If anything changes, as always, I will let everybody know. And we will obviously be rescheduling it because Saturday, right now, we're saying Saturday, will be our prom night review, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis. And I'm very, very excited for that because I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I also haven't seen the remake in a long time, but fuck the remake. If Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, it's going to be good regardless. So make sure you guys go and watch that before Saturday. And if anything changes, I'll let you guys know. And if anybody who is tuning in live right now, like Lawrence, I do apologize. This is the ending of the stream. But if you guys have any questions right now is when we usually open it up once we're done with our review. You guys can go ahead and throw it in chat and we can answer it for you. If you have any of them, or if you have any requests on movies you'd like us to review, you guys can either do it here live on our comments in YouTube, or you can do it even if you're watching it or listening to the episodes on like Spotify or anything. I think there's a way for you to message us also, and our Patreon is also a really good way to do that. So if you guys want to support us in any kind of way, even if you're just listening or watching, that's amazing. If you want to take it a step further and you want to go and support us on Patreon, all you gotta do is pledge $1 and you will get all these episodes early. So if you're watching it live, you're getting it early, And
you can also listen to it again after if you want to.
exactly. And you get both versions. You get audio and you get video versions of that a day early. Usually, if we were to do this on Saturday, I would be posting it Saturday night, and then on Sunday morning, it will go live to everybody else. So Patreons are always
you guys are special.
you're always special. We have 3 tiers, but all you guys really have to worry about is just pledge $1. You don't have to go through the other tiers if you don't want to. Like I said, I don't really want everybody to think you have to give us money to support us. You just listening or viewing or liking our videos is great.
Even just sharing a post.
And please, we need to get some reviews. We need reviews on Apple and we need reviews on Spotify. So if you listen to any of those platforms, or even if you don't, can you please just go leave a review on those for us so that way we can get our podcast a little bit more off the ground, because reviews help a lot. It lets other people know what they should be listening to. And thank you guys so much for tuning in on this one. I will be getting all this ready today for Patreons, and then tomorrow, everybody else will be getting it. It will be on YouTube. It will be Spotify, everywhere. So thank you guys so much for being here. And this was the Baron's Hideout podcast. I was your host, Dustin.
And I'm your co-host, Freddy Krueger. Thank you for watching.
And we will see you guys on Saturday. If anything changes, I will let you guys know on Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. Lawrence, sorry that we're splitting out right now. I'll see you guys later. Stay spooky.